All right, I want to tell you what I have already done. I've already downloaded the start file to my desktop, and I have already gone in to Illustrator, gone down here from Edit to Preferences to General, and then I have reset preferences. So that's how I'm always starting. It takes a couple minutes to do that. And then it restarted. So I'm not going to do that again, but that's what I've already done. So I have kind of a clean look at what I'm doing. So now I'm going to be opening on my desktop. I have this O2 game night. Here is my L2 start, and it's going to be opening it up. Okay. Now I wanted to show you a couple things that are interesting here. I have actually three artboards on my workspace. And do you see the numbers? O1 postcard front, O2 postcard back, O3 pieces. Okay. And so I can navigate from one artboard to another by coming down here at the very bottom. This is called the status bar. So look at the very lower left-hand bottom. And do you see where it says a 1 here? I click on that and I can navigate between postcard front, postcard back, and three pieces. So I want the three pieces, and that centers my artboard right there. Okay. So that's how I'm going to be doing a lot of navigating between 1, 2, and 3 during this lesson. Okay. So I've chosen that. And now I'm going to choose my selection tool. And my selection tool is this first black arrow. So I'm going to click on that. That's my selection tool. And I'm going to move my pointer over different things. And you can see that as I move over, things appear. Okay. So when I'm on the edge, a path appears. There's going to be a center point. So different things appear. It might be hard to see. It's in kind of a light pink on top of these things. So you can see that as I'm moving my cursor, I can see things. So the little box that appears next to the pointer, look over here at the bottom where I have this orange, Pac-Man creature. And then next to it, I have a series of boxes. And you can see that as I pass over it, a little black box appears. And that shows that there's artwork under the pointer, okay? So, and also when I go over it, a thin blue outline appears around the box. So I'm just going to kind of go through here and see some of those different things, okay? So those are, that kind of shows me that there is artwork underneath there. So I'm going to click anywhere inside the larger green circle to select it. And a bounding box with 8 handles appears around it. And so, I can resize and rotate now that it has happened. So I'm going to also click on this left smaller one. And when I did that, the larger circle was deselected and the littler circle was selected. Okay. So I'm going to drag that circle into here. Okay. And now I want to select both the little circle and the big circle. So I'm going to hold down the shift button and I'm going to click on the big circle. So now they are both selected. Okay. And it has a kind of a larger bounding box around it. And so now I'm going to drag this over the dark gray rectangle to move both. And you can see that all these pink lines appear as I do that. And that just kind of gives me some, in this case, for example, it centers it, which I appreciate. Okay. All right. So that's one thing I've just done. And now I am heading over and using the direct selection tool. So selection does the whole object. Direct selection changes this bounding box, changes paths. All right, so I'm going to click on the direct selection tool. That's this white arrow. Okay, so now I have that. And I'm going to click inside the pink thought bubble to select it. And I want to get really close in on this. So I'm going to do view. Since I've selected it, this is going to be the center of my new screen. So I'm going to do view, zoom in. I can also just do Control plus to zoom in. And it will center around this because I have this selected. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is there's an anchor point at the end of this tail. You might not see it. It's dark blue here. It's underneath this circle, this white circle, but underneath the blue circle is an anchor point. And when I when I hover over it, the word anchor appears, okay? So there's a little white box next to the pointer, right? And so I'm going to click on that anchor point, okay? And I'm going to move the pointer away from it, okay? So I have clicked my final anchor point there. And the anchor point, you know what, I'm going to kind of go closer. That anchor point, this is a context box, but it's in my way. So I'm going to go around here, driving me nuts. I'm going to hide this bar. But okay, so here I am. And I clicked on the anchor. And so if those anchor points are too small for you, and for me, they often are, you go into Edit, Preferences, Selection and Anchor Display, and make it bigger. So I'm going to make it bigger so that you can see it. So I'm going to press OK. So do you see how that's a little bit bigger now? Okay. I'm going to click on this in my deluxe section. I'm going to click on my direct anchor. Okay. So I want to zoom out again. So I'm going to do view, zoom out. I could also do a control minus. So I'm going to do that, control minus to zoom out. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about this now. So what I want to do is I want to select everything. This is a joystick for a game thing. So I'm going to have the direct select the selection tool, not the direct selection tool, but the selection tool. And I'm going to draw a box over it. So now everything is selected. And I'm going to put it down here. Okay, so that's one way to do it. That way I've selected the whole thing. I'm going to, over here on the quote box, do something a little bit different. So with this one, I had the selection tool. Now I'm only want to drag over the bottom half of this speech bubble and make it smaller. So this is a little trick. I'm going to click on the direct selection box, and I'm going to just drag around the bottom half. Okay. Like that. And I released the mountain button. Now I'm going over to my up arrow. And look, it is just shortening the bottom half. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. So that's another way to kind of quickly change the shape of something, is to use the direct selection to only do the bottom half and then use the arrows to change that. All right. So now I'm going to come up here to the selection tool, and I'm going to move the letters level up, and I'm going to center it best I can. Okay. So I'm kind of doing some different things with these three pieces. All right. So now what I want to do is come down here. So right now I'm in the three pieces artboard. And wait, I'm going to deselect by clicking in the gray. So nothing is selected. And if I'm ever confused, I can come into here and make sure I do deselect. So nothing is selected now. Now I'm going to go to the postcard front. So remember down here at the bottom, when we're looking at the status bar, I'm going to click this arrow and go to postcard front. Okay. So I wanted to go over locking and unlocking objects a little bit. So with the selection tool selected, the black tool, I am going to click this kind of black shape around this game console. Okay. And so I'm going to do object lock. Okay. Selection. So now I can't click on this. I can't change it anymore. Okay. So do you see these two small stars here? I want to lock those. So I'm going to click on the very small star. I'm going to carefully, I'm making sure that I'm not, actually, let me just, okay, there is one. And then I'm going to press the shift key and I'm also going to select this other one. I'm doing that. Okay, so I've done the two. And now both of them are selected and I want to lock them. So I'm going to do object, lock, selection. Okay. So the stars are not going to move. Now what I want to do is I want to select all of these lines. Now, if I had done this before, the stars would have been selected as well, but I can't select the stars because they're now locked, right? So I'm going to draw a box, being careful not to get the console. And now all of these lines are selected, and I want to move them down to the bottom. But to move them, I have to click on one of the lines on the line. So I'm going to put them down. And did you see that the stars stayed in the same place, which is awesome. So I've just done that. And now I'm going to unlock objects. So I'm going to I'm going to deselect. And I'm going to go object, unlock all. So this is going to unlock anything I have in the document in all three artboards. So I've done that. All right. So now I am going to select the black background again. And I'm coming over here to the properties and I'm going to click on the fill. And I'm going to change this into, I think, like a dark blue. Okay. Or maybe even darker. Okay. So make sure that you make all those changes. That's the way I know that you've kind of done all this. So I'm going to go back to object, lock, selection, and just what I've selected is locked. Nothing else is. All right. Okay. So let me go over another tool, and this is another way to kind of do things in a faster way. I'm going down here again. Right now I'm in one postcard front. I'm going to click down here and I'm going to go to three pieces again. Okay. And you can see that right now I have these three boxes and I want to make them more uniform. Okay. So with the selection tool, so I'm on the selection tool, I'm going to select a white square to the right of this character, this orange character. So I selected it. Okay. And then I'm going to here choose select, same, and then I'm going to do fill and stroke. So I want anything that is near there on this artboard that has a similar fill and stroke. So it selected them all that way, right? It said, oh, all these boxes have the same fill and they have the same stroke. So I want to save this selection because I'm going to do several things with that. So to do that, I am going to go to Select, Save Selection, and I'm going to name it. I'm going to say dots. Okay, so that's my thing that I've done. Okay. And then I'm going to choose Select, Deselect because I want to deselect it. Okay, so I don't have anything selected. Okay. So I'll be able to find that in the future. All right. So we're kind of flipping between artboards. I know it seems a little silly, but I want you to get really good at doing that. So I'm going to head back to one postcard front. Okay. And then I'm going to select one of the stars in the background. I'm going to select this one. Okay. And I'm going to choose Select, Same, Appearance. Okay. And that is selected anything that matches the combination of fill and stroke color, opacity, effects, etc. And then I'm going to choose Object Hide Selection. So for this, I'm just going to, sometimes it's helpful just to hide things so that you're not, you can kind of work and see things without it. So I'm just going to do this so that I can more easily focus on other objects. I can also go to outline mode if I want to see all of my artwork. So sometimes there's things that are hidden here, right? I'm just seeing kind of the finished product here. But if I go to view outline, this shows displays artwork. So the attributes like fill and stroke are temporarily removed and only the paths are visible. So this sometimes helps you select something within a series of stacked objects. So I am going to go on my selection tool and I am going to go over company game night there. I'm going to press the up arrow a few times to move the text up a bit because I need to have room underneath it. So I'm going to do 3 times. And then, you know what I have right now? I have missed, I moved my contextual, I hid my contextual status button. So now I'm going to get my contextual status button back. So if I can find it here. Ooh. View. See it. So for now, I'm just going to have to do it. So I did this. I kind of selected all of my text and I'm going to group it. So I'm going to do object and then I'm going to do group. Okay, so now all of those text shapes are together. So now I want to go back to my regular view. So I'm going to go view, GPU preview. So this is what this looks like. Okay. And that way I can see the painted artwork. Okay. All right. So let's work now on aligning objects to each other. And this is like, let's say you have a bunch of fence posts and you want to align them, or you want to put your artwork to the center of a poster. There's some easy ways to do that. Okay. So I'm going to go back down to my pages and navigate to the 3 pieces. Okay. Here I am. Okay. And so you can see that these are not aligned together, but we've already selected them all. So I'm going to go to select dots. Okay. So that's my dot selection. And then over here in the align, I'm going to be looking for vertical align center. And I think it's this one. So when I hovered over it, it says vertical align center. So I'm going to press it. And look, they all aligned, okay, which is cool, okay. Now, you'll notice that these are still unevenly spaced. We'll deal with that in just a second. So that is aligning, okay. Let's go back to number one, postcard front. And I'm going to do some aligning here. What needs to be aligned? These two buttons are not aligned. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click one of the game buttons, and then I'm going to hold down Shift and select the other one. And now I'm also keep holding down Shift. I'm going to click on this dark pink square. Okay. So all of those three things are together. Okay. And so I want to align the buttons to the dark pink shape. So I have right now, they're all three selected. So now I need to choose what my key object is that it's going to align to, and it's going to be this dark pink shape. So with everything selected, I'm going to click on my dark pink shape. And did you see, by the way, that it turned from a thin blue line to a thick blue line? Okay. And now I'm going to go back over here to the vertical align center. I'm going to click it, and then those game buttons moved to the exact center. Okay. So I need to deselect. So I could either click out here in the gray, or I can come up here to deselect. Okay. So I've done that. Now I am going to go back to number three, pieces. And I would like to kind of evenly distribute these. So we were doing alignment, now we're doing distribution. So I'm going to go select to dots. So they're selected again. And over here, where in my properties panel, where it says align, there's these three little dots right here. I'm going to click it. And that gives me my distribute. You see there's some additional options down here. And I'm going to click the horizontal distribute center button, which I'm not. I got to kind of figure out which that one is. Horizontal distribute center. Okay. So I'm going to click on that. And then all of my little boxes within the selection are evenly distributed now. Okay. All right. So with this looks okay, but I want the shapes to be closer. And so I can also use distribute to do that. So with the shapes still selected, I'm going to click the leftmost shape to make that the key object. So I'm going to click on this. Did I do it? Okay. I have to click on the line around it. Do you see how it becomes dark blue? Once I've done that, I'm going to come over to my properties panel again next to a line, and I'm going to click on the three dots. Down here, distribute spacing. I'm going to make this 7. Okay. And then I'm going to press enter. Okay. And then I am going to, wait, let me make sure I did that. This is now 7. And now I want to shift click the orange character. So that has a little light blue thing, and I want to group, wait, shift click. Okay. So I shift click. Now all of these together are selected, and I want to go to object group. Okay. So now they are a single group. Okay. All right. And so I think I'm going to kind of stop here just to make a new video, which I think will just to split this in two.